This is the true story of Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, a story chosen by Allah himself in the Quran and called Ahsanul Qasas, the best of all stories. It is a journey of a boy blessed with a dream that would change nations, tested with betrayal, slavery, temptation, prison, and finally raised to power. Not by chance, but by the divine plan of Allah. This is not a legend. This is not fiction. This is truth, exactly as revealed by Allah, preserved without alteration. A story of how patience, faith, and unwavering trust in Allah led from the darkest well to the highest throne. Prophet Yusuf was the son of Prophet Yaqub, Jacob. And from childhood, Yaqub felt a special closeness to Yusuf because of the purity of his heart and the light of prophethood visible in him. One night Yusuf came to his father and said, with innocence and excitement, that he had seen 11 stars, the sun and the moon bowing down to him in a dream. Yaqub immediately understood this was not just a dream, it was a future destiny revealed by Allah. He warned Yusuf not to tell his brothers, because Satan would use that to spark jealousy. But jealousy had already entered their hearts. His brothers felt threatened by the love their father had for Yusuf and his younger brother Binyamin. They said amongst themselves that Yusuf must be removed so that their father's attention would return fully to them. They plotted to throw him into a deep well, claiming this would free them from his presence without killing him. They went to their father and asked him to send Yusuf with them the next day, promising to take care of him. Prophet Yaqub was hesitant, expressing fear that a wolf might harm him. They swore they would protect him. The next day they took Yusuf far into the desert, and under false pretenses of play and fun, they forced him towards a deep, dark well. Yusuf, still a child, was terrified. His own brothers, his own blood, lifted him and cast him down into the depths. As he fell, frightened and alone, Allah revealed to him, reassuring him that a day would come when he would remind them of this act while they would not recognize him. The brothers stained Yusuf's shirt with false blood from an animal and returned to their father at night, pretending to cry. They said a wolf had eaten him, but Yaqub, a prophet, knew the truth. He said that their souls had enticed them to a great wrong, but he would remain patient. And he turned to Allah in sadness, not to people. Meanwhile, in the darkness of the well, Yusuf waited. A caravan passed by, and a man lowered a bucket to draw water. When he pulled it up, Yusuf was clinging to it. Shocked at finding a child, they hid him to sell him later as merchandise. They took him to Egypt and sold him for a few silver coins, as if his life held little value. But his value was known to Allah. He was bought by the Aziz of Egypt, a respected minister. The Aziz told his wife to treat Yusuf kindly, perhaps they could adopt him. Yusuf grew into a young man blessed with beauty, wisdom, and righteousness. But a test came. The wife of the Aziz developed a powerful desire for him. Yusuf was alone in the house one day. She locked the doors and called him towards sin. Yusuf, pure and conscious of Allah, refused and ran. She chased him, tearing his shirt from behind. At the door, they found her husband. She immediately accused Yusuf, but a witness testified that if his shirt was torn from the back, she was the liar. It was indeed torn from the back. Yet rumors spread among the women of the city. They mocked her for falling in love with her servant. To prove her point, she invited them for a meal. As they cut fruit, she called Yusuf to appear. The women were so struck by his beauty that they accidentally cut their own hands, saying, "This is no mortal, this is an angel." She openly declared her intention. If he did not obey her, she would imprison him. Prophet Yusuf prayed to Allah, saying prison was more beloved to him than what they were calling him to. So, to protect him, and by the decree of Allah, Yusuf was sent to prison, even though he was innocent. In prison, Yusuf's character shone. 2 young men were imprisoned with him. Both had dreams and asked Yusuf to interpret them. Yusuf made it clear the knowledge he had was from Allah. He interpreted their dreams. One would be freed and serve the king, while the other would be executed. The dreams came true exactly. Yusuf asked the one who would survive to mention him to the king, but Satan caused him to forget, and Yusuf remained in prison for years longer. One night the king himself had a dream, 7 fat cows being eaten by 7 lean cows, and 7 green ears of grain and 7 dry ones. No one could interpret it, until the freed prisoner remembered Yusuf. Yusuf interpreted the dream. Egypt would face 7 years of abundance, followed by 7 years of famine. He advised them to store grain carefully during the good years. The king was impressed and ordered Yusuf to be brought to him, but Yusuf refused to leave prison until his innocence was publicly declared. The king investigated, and the women, including the wife of the Aziz, confessed Yusuf's purity. She admitted that he was truthful and she was the one who tried to seduce him. Yusuf was cleared of all accusations and brought before the king with honor. Seeing his wisdom and sincerity, the king appointed him as the minister over the storehouses of Egypt, giving him authority over the lands. Just as the dream foretold, 7 years of ease came, during which Yusuf carefully stored grain. Then came 7 years of famine that affected surrounding regions, including Canaan where his father and brothers lived. Yusuf's brothers came to Egypt seeking food, not recognizing that the man before them was their own brother. Yusuf recognized them immediately, but he kept his identity hidden to test their hearts. He asked them to bring their youngest brother, Binyamin, next time, or they would not receive more grain. They returned to Yaqub, who feared losing another son, but eventually allowed Binyamin to go, trusting Allah. When they returned, Yusuf privately revealed himself to Binyamin, comforting him and assuring him of Allah's plan. Yusuf then kept Binyamin behind by the decree of Allah, causing his brothers to feel deep regret for their past actions. Finally, when the brothers returned again, desperate and humbled, Prophet Yusuf could no longer hide his identity. He said, "Do you know what you did to Yusuf and his brother when you were ignorant?" They were stunned. He then said, "I am Yusuf, and this is my brother. Allah has been gracious to us. Indeed, whoever fears Allah and is patient, Allah does not waste the reward of the righteous." The brothers were overwhelmed with guilt and begged for forgiveness. Yusuf forgave them, saying, "No blame will there be upon you today. May Allah forgive you." Yusuf called for his whole family to come to Egypt. When his parents arrived, he raised them upon the throne. 11 brothers stood before him, and they all bowed down to him in respect and honor. The dream he saw as a child was now fulfilled exactly as Allah had shown him. Prophet Yusuf then said, acknowledging Allah's favor throughout every stage of his life, from the well to the palace, "My Lord, you have given me authority and taught me the interpretation of dreams. Creator of the heavens and earth, you are my protector in this world and the hereafter. Cause me to die a Muslim and join me with the righteous." And so ends the story, not of a boy who suffered, but of a believer who trusted every step of Allah's plan, even when he could not see what was ahead. A story that teaches us, what people do to break you is part of how Allah builds you. Every loss was positioning him for something greater. If you ever feel abandoned, betrayed, or in a place you never thought you'd be, remember Yusuf in the well. If you feel forgotten and trapped, remember Yusuf in prison. If you feel life is unfair, remember Yusuf was innocent, yet patient. And when life finally shifts in your favor, remember Yusuf on the throne, humble, forgiving, and grateful. Allah is writing your story, even when you can't see the pages. Be patient. Your well is not your end. It is the beginning of your rise. Stories like this aren't just history. They are guidance for your life today. Subscribe and let your heart stay connected to the truth.